League is brought to you in part by Intel, Vodafone, The Road to Odense, Betway, MSI, Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, Mountain Dew League, and ESEA.
And you've joined us at the epitome here for the EPL. Welcome back. My name's Hysterics. I'm joined by Pilly. It is a very early morning here, but a good one at that. We are on to game number 3, map 3 for you folks at home. Of course, Na'Vi and Ghost have gotten to this point by their own volition. This is going to be a great way to finish out, Pilly.
Yeah, definitely. Two really nail-biting close maps. There were just back and forth action. In both of them, there was like that point in the map where there was 10-11, like 10-10, and one team was on the brink of being broken economically, if not both teams. And, you know, Na'Vi in that time, as opposed to Inferno, were actually able to put themselves in the driver's seat and put them closer to 14, 15 rounds, whereas previously, you know, Ghosts were actually able to put a foot forward and win some of those key rounds to be able to take the map out. Regardless, though, Ghosts showed some great resilience on train to be able to bring things back into overtime, where Na'Vi just absolutely seemed to manhandle them.
Yeah, OT just for Ghost just didn't look as favourable as maybe the rest of the game. So Na'Vi going forward into this third game on Mirage, is that confidence there? Because Ghost have been running them around, and this team is balls to the wall. If you want to call a team balls to the wall, I'd attach the label to Ghost.
Yeah, potentially. Like some of the strats that they run, the pacing of some of their, you know, bomb site hits and the way that they run around the map, and just the difference in play between T gun rounds. One round might be slow and crawling and then end in a really fast pop flash, and then the next one might be, you know, a quick rush out onto one of the bomb sites.
Pilly, I'm excited to get into this. It's game 3, map 3. We're on to Mirage, and this is the decider. The last position available between Ghost and Na'Vi. Is the upset possible? As they flash and smoke outside, it's Ghost who push in on the T side first, of course, and look how fast they're going.
Trying to just body blocks that smoke into a more awkward position, but still pretty effective CT smoke, all things considered. Ghost get the bomb plant down. Neptune's got control of jungle. I don't think he's going to expect Simple to actually have been hiding in window this entire round, and here comes Simple. He's ready to strike, but Neptune reacts.
So much faster on the play there, but from CT, all 4 members are coming up. Subrose is so close, but Zeus meets him head on. The bomb's right in front of them, but look at how far back they're playing. It's a bit of a bait and a heads-up play, but through the smoke, they still find the shot. Defuse stopped. Flamey trying to go close. He's going to get taken out in the end, and Ghost Gaming getting one step ahead of Na'Vi.
Yeah, great pistol round from Ghost. Pretty standard one that we've seen time and time again work. Smoke onto CT, smoke onto Con. Some great flashes to be able to get a lot of these Ts out towards jungle. Getting that jungle control pretty seamlessly and getting the bomb down in a position like the right side of triple there, where they can defend it from ramp, Tetris, under Balk at the firebox. They're in the bottom of Con and jungle, but Neptune getting a key frag there, and he gets a lot of these key frags on the T side. We saw him in SL on train, making the difference there. That time, picking up Simple in that window/jungle fight is a big difference maker for the success of that pistol there.
Almost went south. Edward sitting at the end of Van. He takes a big nade.
Pretty big stack towards this B bomb site, and that's exactly where Ghost are heading. They need to be very, very careful about this one because they're running into a lot of pistolers from Na'Vi. Are they going to commit? There's only 3 of them here. I'm getting pretty nervous here, Jake, but luckily Steel and Kusta are starting to make their way up short as well. There's going to be another angle to this push, but there's still a lot of Na'Vi pistolers on this bomb site here.
Yeah, they have no idea just yet, but they will shortly. Edward holding close. Subrose are going to take the push out. He doesn't check. Edward hits him in the back. The trade-offs are there. However, it is, in the end, a big heads up once more for Ghost Gaming, only dropping Subrosa in the end.
They run straight into the stack, but just the angles that everyone's clearing are so heads up and so clean that the trades are effective, everyone's winning their gunfights, and they make quick work of Na'Vi, despite it being an absolute brawl on the B-bomb side there, a 5v5. The timing of that hit coming in, the 2 players coming up short, combined with the Apps players swinging out. Make quick work of the stack from Na'Vi. Now Na'Vi going onto the bomb, going onto their buy round rather. Flamey's actually on the AWP instead of Simple, something we saw on Train as well. Smoke onto the top of middle. Simple being the point man again. He tried to take control of SL last time. Oh my god, the whole time though, Ghosts were out A very quickly.
They dropped their AWP up. Simple does turn around and get coosed up. An important trade for how this round's gone already, and that nade just damages two. Zeus coming in through CT. Na'Vi playing for the retake here, but through the smoke, still damaging out. Zeus is just getting the fire.
And that was, I think, the Palace pop that Ghost is so good at executing on their T side of Mirage. Works out beautifully for them. They get so quickly out the Palace and out ramp into CT spawning. They get so much control, as well as the bomb plant down there. It's so difficult for Na'Vi to be able to retake. First, they have to clear out CT. They have to clear out those jungle areas. Zeus gets caught there, traded out. He's going to lose his life. And now Ghost with a quick round win in the first gun. And talk about pacing, talk about momentum.
Yeah.
They won that round so lightning quick, Jake. There were no decisions to be made for a lot of those Na'Vi players. It was, hey guys, we're Ghost and we're on the A bomb site. If you don't kill us, we're winning this one.
Are you ready? Na'Vi were not.
No, they weren't. And I was already saying in the break, I was ready for these Ghost plays, this Palace pop. I was ready for some of these B executes that Ghosts love to do. The two smokes on middle towards window and short, combined with a lot of quick riflery boys getting into some aggressive positions. It's what I love to see for Ghosts on this map. I've seen a lot of it in the online season of EPL. I was curious to see whether they were going to bring some of that pacing, some of that momentum into a game like this against Na'Vi, and so far they haven't disappointed.
A flick over to Market, and Edwards down. The opener for Ghost Gaming again. And the worst part was, Edward did have the gun, but Zeus has got the AWP now. Only 2 guns for Na'Vi this round. And I think Ghost will be the ones getting off to a big start. That is if Zeus doesn't stop 2. Only 1. But with the trade-off there, Electronic still holds strong here on B side. That is alongside.
Steel's walking up behind them.
Ooh, Simple gets the kill. Electronic walks through the rest of the molly. 2 versus 2. Kusta here, big onto Flamey. But guess who's still alive? It's Electronic. He's low. Taken down by Steel. 4 round wins in a row to start us off here on Mirage. Ghost Gaming taking the momentum off of last game, where Na'Vi took OT pretty single-handedly.
Quick
and
as
turning
you'd
that
like
around.
from Ghost, though. Doesn't even feel like we've been here 5 minutes. They've already got 4 rounds on the board. That's how quick these rounds are being resolved.
Their T side just seems to be so punishing here for Na'Vi. What's the response? What's the answer? And how do you stop this and slow it down?
Got one word for you, mate. Simple. He's got the AWP. He's just playing retake A this time around, and Ghost are going to go towards middle, though. Smoke into the window. Just a very slow one from Ghost this time. Completely different level of pace from them. Subro's up, putting some pressure onto the apartments. He's thrown his smoke pretty early on in the round, either towards middle or towards that B apartments. He's just going to put a little bit of pressure on. Steel's going to make his way up underpass, molly onto the connector. It's all the protocols that we've seen time and time again. Steel smoke into the connector, as well as the pop flash from top mid. Will he be ready for Flamey in the corner, though?
It doesn't look like it. Or Flamey, actually, the turnaround from Steel. Survives on 6. Happy to push up Con. And towards that smoke, Electronic sitting here in Sniper's Nest.
And with that pick onto the Con player, Ghosts are going to pounce straight into the short split. 2 players for Na'Vi on the B-bomb site.
Oh, Wardell turns over to Zeus. And in the back of bench, Edwards is still alive. A big turning point here on the B-bomb site. Finds his 3rd. 2 versus 2 now. Can this be recovered by Na'Vi? Bomb is right in front of Edward.
Steel's on the flank again, though. He was able to consolidate that last round and really secure things for Ghost Gaming by flanking through Market late round. Seems like Simple is aware this might be a possibility, but bomb retrieved. That's huge from Wardell. He's going to run back towards this A-bomb site. And with Steel, who has jungle control, that is a very, very good position in a 2-on-2 at this point in the round. That might just be round winning.
Edward moving across, doesn't suspect it, but just turns onto Steel. It might be round winning, but Wardell drops as well. the duo here from Na'Vi. A round that should have been lost, a round that could have been so much harder. Just falls into the lap of Na'Vi.
But with only 2 alive, that's going to be very taxing on Na'Vi's economy. Ghost still with a fair bit of money on top of that bomb plant there. Definitely could have come away with that round. Still a little sloppy on the spray there, and with not a lot of HP to work with, Edward was able to react. And Simple just locking down Wardell's chances of being able to get an early pick in that 1-on-2 to make things a bit more interesting. Sub-Rosa, he's going to be dropped an AK because he's got a little bit less cash than the rest of the lads. We all know that one friend who needs to be dropped an AK. Now, CTs, they're actually going to take a tactical timeout. Their money's not doing too great after that last round, but they're going to be able to have a great buy into this one. They had the double orbs retained. Simple's going to pick the other one up off the ground. Zeus, the only one who's really struggling in terms of the cash. Over on the side of Ghost, they're struggling in terms of the cash as well. Very consistent performance across the board, and already showing a lot of depth up against Na'Vi so far. Quick Palace pop from them in one of the rounds. A lot of pressure towards B and middle, throwing in these short splits with the B apartments. We'll see if they have something else left in the tank. I mean, last round it was good to see a lot of pressure on mid there. Yep. All the protocols you're used to seeing, the smoke towards top of connector, the good pop flashes coming out, the Molotovs as well. Seems like Ghost is pretty comfortable on their T side of Mirage. It's good to see.
Well, for Na'Vi, that round was an important one. Means that now we're going to have a very competitive one right here.
Look at this from Ghost. Seal and Neptune putting a lot of pressure over towards B. That's going to draw the rotation for Electronic. The rest of the lads walking out. Palace, though, will Flamey be ready for it? He is.
Well, Flamey survives, pulls back. It's Wardell who drops onto site. Bomb still sitting in Palace there on the side of what looks like Kusta. Still, he's coming through from unders. Kusta's still on site. Wardell dropped 2 there. Zeus sitting on short. Still can't push towards Con. Zeus going to pop himself up this round for Ghost Gaming. Missed execution. It's just a good heads up again from Na'Vi. And Kusta's left alone here with the orb. Right behind Firebox.
Going to be a difficult challenge for him, but the question is for damage. How many guns can he take away from Na'Vi?
That's going to be the real threat here. Edward not even taking that challenge. 30 seconds left remaining. Even if he can walk out of this round with the orb. So far, so good. Can he get the bomb plant down? Probably not. It's Simple that comes in once again. All right, Ghost Gaming. They've been red. And they take the tactical timeout after that as well. They started the first 4 rounds in very quick fashion, but everything slowed down immensely in the last 2.
Yeah, it wasn't necessarily a read from Na'Vi as much as it was. I feel like these kind of plays Ghost is so good at putting a lot of pressure, whether it's with utility or with manpower towards one side of the map to be able to cause a specific rotation, and that's what they're able to do. I mean, Electronic bit, he was towards that middle, he was heading over towards B with his Seal and Neptune putting a lot of pressure over onto that side of the map, but the real difference maker there for Na'Vi is Flamey. He's got the AWP close ramp, and he's just so aware that somebody's going to be creeping out Palace at that point in the round, and he's able to spot everything that Ghost are trying to do before it even happens. He picks one of them. That slows things down so much towards Ghost. The whole point of that play is to be able to catch people with their pants down, be able to cause that extra rotation from Electronic, as well as have that A player be a little bit more mindful of whether he should rotate or not. It's a quick one at Palace. The Palace pop works beautifully. Flaming caught off guard. Electronic gets absolutely deleted.
It's happening again here, Billy. Straight through the middle. And Neptune just pops himself out over at CT. He doesn't manage to find Zeus in the end, but the bomb's down. Ghost Gaming, quick smart. Left in a very favorable position. Guns over the wall. And still probably going to struggle to find anything at the end of this round, but Ghost Gaming, what's assured here is victory in this one.
And this is a strat that Ghost have run so many times. They ran it so much in the online season of the EPL. And it's worked out beautifully for them there. It's good to see it transition and work beautifully up against a team of Na'Vi's caliber. Just the pacing coming out of Palace so early on in the round after throwing smokes towards middle, putting a little bit of pressure on one other side of the map in the first couple of seconds, and then just the flashes from those players behind ramp with people coming out. Palace at that point always catches that A player completely off guard. The jungle player or the con player, who's that second person towards A, is usually a little bit preoccupied with the smokes coming down towards middle with the flashes, looking to get a bit of information or a pick towards that part of the map. They can do just a couple of steps out of position, and that's sometimes all it takes for Neptune to be able to get enough ground to be able to crack some heads.
Oh, Wardell just pops up. Tries to get the AWP trade off, but all he trades is his health.
No pressure towards middle here at all from Ghost, and Edward's got all that information. He's picking up Cat towards top and middle. Zeus knows he's under a lot of pressure here. Drops the smoke. HE to follow, and he's just trying to buy time for the rotations to come out from the Na'Vi lads. Edward, that's a beautiful nade into the B apartments. About 30 to 40 damage across 3 different terrorists here. And Ghost, they're slowing things down. They've still got a lot of utility. Actually heading back towards underpass. I don't know how this is going to go for them. Edward, see if he's aware of this. Electronic as well could do a lot of damage here. But Simple's the one at Ticket. If he hops up on Ticket and he's able to scope towards the bottom connector, he could get some real freebies here in this round for Na'Vi.
Move made now by Na'Vi. Heading towards Con. Electronic still sitting here. Simple in a great position, but misses the opening shot. Gets another. Electronic just mows down 3. Make that 4 players. The 5th eludes, but it doesn't matter. Electronic got everything he wanted and more for Na'Vi.
That was just so one-dimensional from Ghost. They got shut down by those HE nades and some of the utility being expended by Na'Vi at that point in the round, that they just don't go for that B-Apps play, but they don't spread out enough when they go for connector. They all through top mid, they're all through underpass, and how many times have you seen 5 people walk out connector and it work out great? Personally, I don't think I've ever seen that happen. There was no extra arm to that push. There was no pressure on the extremities from Ghost. It was so one-dimensional, and, you know, as is the case with a lot of one-dimensional plays, it really only took one of the Na'Vi players to shut them down. Electronic just spraying everyone down from jungle this time around. Ghost going to commit towards B-Apps.
Neptune that takes damage, trying to make the push work though. There's a smoke towards Bench, a good flash over to Zeus, but doesn't mean he doesn't find the opener. Neptune drops first, and Zeus here on top of Van, gets the opening angle, but Bench seems a little bit hard at the moment. Edward's still here though, playing around this smoke on the B-bomb site.
Kusta, he's got no armor and a Pichu, and he's trying to lurk in through Murder Hole. That's been something that Ghost has been doing pretty consistently though, so I wouldn't be surprised if they were ready for it. There it is, Simple. He's very well aware of that one. Steel's been doing that so often, Jake.
Yeah. I think right now Ghost are losing a little bit of their charm here, Pilly.
I mean, it's pretty straightforward what has and hasn't been working for them. A bomb site, very successful. B bomb site, very unsuccessful.
Yeah. Another pause. Very important game on the line here. If you have just tuned in, well, good timing. Ghost Gaming took us to a beautiful start on Inferno against Na'Vi with a win. And we just passed over Train in our first OT where Na'Vi secured. We're now on our 3rd and final map here. Winner goes forward further into the EPL. See if Na'Vi can try and deny that Astralis dream. Astralis, 1 Grand Slam away from that 1 mil. Of course, getting 100k for denying it. That's the beauty of it, but long way off at the moment. If they're being challenged by someone like Ghost Gaming, if Na'Vi do make it through, then what's to say that they couldn't be challenged by some of the other teams that, well, before they even get towards that final. Here we're going to get an answer. We jump out of the tack timeout and straight into the 10th round.
Steel's just going to play Firefighter, trying to put out that Molotov from Zeus. They're just going to try to go for the bomb plan on this B-bomb site. They get it down. They get a lot of kills as well in some advanced positions.
Ghost Gaming, we're talking about how B is kind of misfortunate for them. This round, even though it was an eco, looks better than their buy round.
All of that work, and there was no ammo in the AUG there for Wardell, so just gets absolutely wrecked. And now Ghost, that bomb plant's huge for them. That's going to be a whole lot more money than they would have had in the previous round. That's talking about a whole bunch of extra smokes and Molotovs, whole bunch of extra flashes. Neptune can potentially buy an ult for somebody else. Maybe Wardell, but he's gone for all the utilities, so probably not. Wardell will have to buy his own if he wants one. Na'Vi, their money's really starting to stack up now. They've been shutting Ghost down pretty convincingly these last couple of gun rounds, it seems. Let's see what the adaptation is going to be from Ghost. Wardell does go onto the AWP. It's a glass cannon from the man. Couple of players towards middle here for Ghost. No one towards A.
Oh, Edward's done it again. It's Steele who drops first. He had such a good game too. Map 2, excuse me. It's fallen by the wayside, it feels like this time. Coosed up, looking towards snipers, but there's no one there. Zeus again might get a bit of damage with this HE nade, but that even slips by 2. The push will be coming out. It's B bomb side again for Ghost Gaming. This time Zeus drops first, but Edward's still here with the AUG. He's been the one getting these opening frags and denying the push even more so from Ghost Gaming. Four versus 4, Molly's out. Sub-Rose is going to have to peek this eventually. Edward is low, but Edward makes the move first. Bomb still goes down. Doesn't deny it any further. Good flash out, but Neptune, as he peeks through, gets punished here by Simple. Kusta comes in, back off of short. Wardell watching in from apps now. There's some good angles set up here by Ghost. But smoke will go down. Bomb planted in the perfect direction. Wardell takes the bait. Kusta does too. And Na'Vi will get the defuse, Pilly. And they take the lead.
This really feels intentional from Ghost, trying to keep going back towards this B bomb site. Really feels like they're trying to isolate Zeus a hell of a lot so far in this T side of Mirage, regardless of the fact that, let's face it, they've been a hell of a lot more successful going towards that A bomb site than at B. Zeus has been doing a fantastic job of staying alive, as well as Edward, buying time for this rotations to come in, doing a whole lot of chip damage with those Molotovs and HE grenades as Ghost come out B apartments. Ghost doing a little better job of getting onto the bomb site that time, but now again, it's towards middle and B apartments. They're not willing to give this strategy up. They feel like there's something here. There's something to this. This time, they won't lose a pick in middle. They're trying to get up catwalk. Will Electronic be able to pick one of them as they do so, or will this B bomb site split be a little bit more successful? It's looking like the latter.
Yeah, at the moment, the push coming through might be a bit of a struggle. Zeus again, the Orgs doing their job. Everyone gets cleanup crew. Wardell somehow survives on one, but not for long. Intentionally going to B. Well, needs to stop.
Yeah, I just really feel like it does, Jake. It really feels like they're trying to force these fights towards Edward and Zeus, but they're doing such a fantastic job of locking down this B-bomb site hit from Ghost time and time again. It's getting a little one-dimensional. It's getting a little easy for Na'Vi to read, and they're shutting it down so convincingly. Ghost, they've got 5 rounds on the board on this T side. That's fantastic, but if you're throwing away what was a back and forth half and going to make this a 10-5 for Na'Vi, it's all for nothing at this point.
It's not going to matter with the way Na'Vi are playing right now. Cool, calm, and collected seems to be the way forward.
100%. It's going to be the difference for Ghost here this time around, though. 2 players towards underpass. Steele's going to set them up with the utility. Smoke into the window. Flash ready for connector to set these 2 unders players up to go into con. Neptune, smoke towards the top of con. Molly onto short as Sub-Rosa gets boosted in the window. A good number of positions in middle here, but Edward makes it all for nothing. Opens up the first pick onto Steele. That puts a lot of pressure on the T's to speed things up for this con to A split, but with the 2 riflers in great positions to be able to defend where these Ghost players are coming from, and Simple playing retake in the window. I don't think this one's going to go too fantastic for Ghost here, Jake.
Well, they have to make a move now, however, even though it's 50 seconds. Na'Vi's starting to rotate around. Edward's been such a pain, but so is Simple. Electronic joins the queue. Even Flamey there on the list. Wardell, he's left in the exact same situation. 1 health, last alive. Na'Vi are just taking them piece by piece at the moment. Round number 14. And Ghost Gaming losing some of their flair here on the T side. It's pause after pause. It's stop after stop for Ghost Gaming.
Feels like Na'Vi are really powering up at this point. All of them doing the heavy lifting at different points in different rounds to be able to shut Ghost Gaming down no matter where they go. It doesn't feel like they can make anything work at this point. I really feel like they just need to go back towards that Palace pop that was so successful both of the times they ran it.
Yeah.
The smokes onto CT and Con in the pistol round worked beautifully for them. The 2 rounds where they did those Palace pops worked fantastically, instantly being able to crack the Na'Vi defense, but every time they've gone towards B, every single time that they've slowed things down and tried to get some control of middle or try to get into connect through a window, Na'Vi's been fantastic at shutting it down. Zeus and Edward been fantastic at combining together, and this time they are expecting this Palace pop to come out on Na'Vi. Look at their positions, their 3-man setup on the A bomb site. They were really convinced that that was going to be the approach from Ghost. They're trying to read the play, and I would say, if I'm Zeus, that's probably exactly what I'm expecting, especially after the tactical timeout where Ghosts have really started to realize, hey, this B bomb site hasn't been working for us. Zeus is going to see these smokes flying in though and start to call for a rotation, but it's only going to be Edward. I say only Edward. These two have been so good at locking B down thus far.
Oh, yeah. B again. Straight in, so fast. It should just be cleanup crew. Yeah, the double nade sends him sky high. And it feels good, man. Clean round for Na'Vi. Last round of the half coming up here. And things for Ghost Gaming can look better. Maybe ending with a 6 would just be that boost of confidence going forward. Let's see that pop out of Palace. Let's see something different. Let's see the A bomb side here to finish things off on the T side.
I would love to see it. It seems just like that these plays from Ghost Gaming aren't catching Na'Vi off guard anymore. They're really starting to adapt to the play style of Ghost Gaming. It's exactly what you'd expect after many, many rounds of Counter-Strike between these two teams. Eventually, Na'Vi has to cotton on. It doesn't matter that it's a different map. It's the same style from Ghost. It's the same approach. And Na'Vi, they're starting to adapt. Zeus in particular, it's the bomb side anchor a lot of the time being the aim of what Ghost are trying to take advantage of. But now it feels like Zeus is taking advantage of them.
Potential of the upset. How does it look in the second half? Sub Rosa comes in strong with that trade. He will be able to pick up the AWP. And maybe Sub Rosa has something to say about it, but Edward's still here. Not a real rotation just yet.
What a great position from Steel, though. This could be the difference maker in this round in particular. Sub Rosa is still applying some pressure towards B-bomb site. He's going to go back for the bomb, but they're going to hear this from Catwalk. Or do they? How are they going to react? Because it looks like they're heading back towards B. Once again, it's going to be Edward. See if he can get the damage done on that B bomb site. Steel moving his way through jungle in the mid round here. No one to stop him from doing so. But look at Edward's position. He's posted on market right now from MDK. Simple as well with the AWP on short. He's going to start to adjust his crosshair towards Apps.
Flash does nothing. Edward still on site. First again, just turns back around to Steel. At least this time there is a trade, but Simple has moved into short. With the AWP, the flick doesn't exist. Flamey left with 1, just himself. Steel already picked up 3 frags this round. The bomb plant will go down, but with the AUG, you can deny it so easily. Kusta with the AWP turns back around. That's a great way to end the half, but you have to say for Ghost, it was B until it just stopped working. Or started working, I should say. Because it did not work.
Yeah. I mean, in that round, it really was Steel who cracked things open, coming through jungle later on in there. If Edward wins that aim duel with him towards market, then it's pretty much going to be all she wrote. but still with a big difference maker. Gets a pick as he's coming out murder hole. Gets a pick onto Edwin and picks up Simple coming out towards MBK as well. He really did the manhandling of Na'Vi in that last round, but even then it looked like Edwin was very well aware of what was going on and doing a decent job of taking the aim duels. So that was more of an individual stepping up from a good position that he put himself in than necessarily the overarching strategy of Ghost going right in that round, in my opinion.
Yep. Strong, powerful 4-5 rounds, I think it's fair to say. And there were some question marks moving towards the later parts, but now on the CT side, Ghosts just have to play the game of catch-up. And it shouldn't be too hard here, but pistol round, of course, always everything. Who gets off to the flying start, who is playing catch-up and who's playing lead. Ball's in Ghost Gaming's court.
Na'Vi on this T side were very scary on train. See if it's going to be the same on Mirage. 2 sets of utility across Zeus and Electronic. It's the smokes onto the left side of the site. Flash over the top of the Palace as well as Ramp is going to start to put some of these Glocking boys out onto the A-bomb site. Neptune as well as Sub-Rosa playing retake on CT. Fantastic flash, blinds both of them as Na'Vi get up close.
Edward hasn't checked ticket just yet. Neptune comes in over the top. Bit of damage coming through, and although the flashes were good, Neptune's still alive. Playing spoiler here out of the side. Flamey pushes into CT. It's Zeus there who gets tagged up. Sub-Rosa again on the P2000 doing disruptor duty. 3 versus 2. Sub-Rosa, bit of hooky there too, but still comes in at the right time. Simple left here with the Glock, playing so close. Ordell behind main box again. It's just so back and forth. With time, there's no way he's getting this. Sub-Rosa will drop the round, and Na'Vi with pistols go to 10.
What a monstrous performance from Simple in that round. And that's a pistol that Ghosts don't want Na'Vi to get whatsoever. It's going to put an immense amount of pressure on them in this game. Na'Vi's up on double digits, potentially looking to move forward towards 11 rounds. And Ghost, they showed some of their resilience on train despite being pushed to the breaking point, literally breaking in terms of the money. Will it be the same on Mirage, or is the pressure going to start to get to them here? Because Na'Vi, they look like they're in kill mode on Mirage. They look like they're not messing around whatsoever. Strong performance from all the boys across the board. Steal with a bit of damage there. Rest of Ghost all towards middle as well.
And everything just falling again. Only Simple to drop. Na'Vi with 11. And Ghost now with a decision to make.
Yeah, it's going to be a rough buy. I don't think they're going to go for it. They did a fair bit of damage with the pistols and the scouts in the last. Probably worth a little bit of an investment in a couple of pistols just to continue to try to keep their money on Na'Vi a little bit lower. But it's already starting to get built up quite a lot. Simple's going to stay on the Deagle this round. Just to try to build it up a little bit more even. Na'Vi walking out ramp here, looking for some information, trying to find out where the stack of the CTs is. They're going to really start to call that A's completely open here. Electronic, he's going to potentially be able to find a lot of... never mind, a lot of nothing.
At least Flamey will come in with Zeus.
5 alive for Na'Vi. Look at that cash. What would you do with that much money, Jake?
I booked myself a holiday to the Ukraine.
Give Simple a pat on the back.
Yeah.
Although it's not just him, it's everyone stepping up for Na'Vi in this game thus far. Let's see. What's the answer for Ghost? It's the double AWP. They're under a lot of pressure here. They're going to try and grind it back. Backs against the wall with the double AWP. But the problem is, should they lose this round, it's going to put a lot of pressure on their economy. They've invested a lot of money into this one. AWPs are not cheap, Jake. They are very expensive.
They are not. And Na'Vi could book their ticket for the rest of Odense. Kusta looking through the pixel gap. He finds nothing. Simple, the only one to take a bit of damage at the start of this round, but Bomb still at T-spawn.
So Na'Vi with a little bit of map pressure towards B. Not too much towards middle. They're going to head back towards A and throw smokes onto the right side of the side as well as CT. Neptune, he's going to be under a lot of pressure here. How good are the counter flashes going to be from Wardell and Subrosa?
Well, Neptune sitting here underneath scaffolding, dies first. Edward gets a surviving kill. Wardell stands in a bit of fire, but before running out, losing position, Subrosa just spraying into the center. Flamey comes in as well. They get the plant down, but through the smoke, Subrosa drops too. Na'Vi getting everything here from this push. How again? Flamey, just a new man here on Mirage. Edward peeks up. Wardell, even though he finds Edward this round again, it's going to drop. And Na'Vi are just that one step closer to securing this best of 3.
And usually, I mean, when I watch a game of Na'Vi, it's Electronic who really impresses me on the T side with his ability to be able to, you know, walk out for some map control and get some key picks for Na'Vi, be able to open up the round. But it's really been in this series, it's been Edward on the aggressive rifle. On Inferno, he was cracking open that A site. Train, he had some pretty key entry frags there. You saw him, he's running out A ramp with a Galil and just absolutely deletes that A side anchor. A massive impact kill there, and Flamey comes through with the aggressive rifle as well. We saw him on Train doing damage with that too. These two have been absolute monsters on the T side. And it's fantastic to see. Edwards had a great performance in this series thus far, and he's only continuing to deliver. Now Ghost onto another buy here. Still on the double AWPs. They were pretty quickly out of that round once they lost Neptune, so there wasn't too much more for them to play for.
Well, they've put everything into this round.
Yep.
And they have to. Because after this, if they lose this one, they're going to be broke. They're going to be struggling.
So there's connector control obtained by Na'Vi, but what's the play going to be from them? How are they going to turn this into a round victory? We're seeing a lot of T's start to run back towards B apartments. Or is it towards A? That's the question here. Zeus is putting some pressure on with the utility. Look at this A ramp control from Ghost Gaming though. That might be the difference maker. Wardell and Neptune, they're going to be under a lot of pressure here because the con play is going to come in. No one to even touch that from Ghost. Subrose is deep in CT spawn. Now the info play comes out from Steel. He starts to walk through B apartments. Neptune picks up Flamey. That's really going to prompt this connector push to start to come in. There's the info from Wardell.
Wardell sits back, hangs all the way here at Ticket Booth. Now going to get the boost, the play, the heads up. Wardell doesn't land the shot. Second comes through onto Simple, but he can't toggle down. Subrosa from CT. The round for Ghost Gaming. Is it there or is it not? Edward says no. They're going to get the plant too. It's just Edward again, who is the thorn in Ghost Gaming's side. From CT, from the looks of it, main. And Electronic's ready for this. Or is he just going to go Palace by the looks of it?
This is a 2-on-2 that Ghosts need, like they need air in their lungs. Electronics playing in ramp. Edwards on the site. Steel, he's coming out Palace, but he's taking far too long here.
At least Steel comes in, but is the defuse even going to end up? No, it's not. They can't find it. They can't even find the kill. Death is the end. And Na'Vi take us to 14. The money is there, thankfully, for Ghost Gaming, but if that wasn't the last round, then surely this will be. A valiant effort from Ghost Gaming so far. Does it end here?
Na'Vi's money is just completely out of control. Ghost Gaming backs against the wall. Double AWP again. Hasn't got anything done for them thus far on the CT side. And this is all that it's going to be. AWP shot rings out and doesn't connect with a Na'Vi player, which is pretty much the story of the last 3 rounds. And now Na'Vi is starting to creep through different portions of the map. Electronic directly under Subrosa here. Could crack this round open.
Close but no cigar. Subrosa. Spray ends up being a little bit late, but doesn't matter. Con control still there. Smoked out once again.
RV trying to grab control of this connector. one player on the extremity, damage exchange back and forth, and Ghost don't want to let them have connector or catwalk. Koosters posted up from bricks there, trying to punish anybody who gets a little bit too antsy on the peak but doesn't quite connect the shot. But this time Na'Vi, they've failed to get control of middle. Hasn't been given to them by Ghost. Ghost is fighting for it this time around. What's the play going to be from Na'Vi? Bomb still in middle. They haven't got any control. T's quickly heading back towards A, but Zeus has spotted the arm of Sub-Rosa. This is a disaster for Ghost.
And with that first kill, Na'Vi now have a decision to make, and they know exactly where they're going. In through Con, Simple even gets Wardell. The AWP is down. It's only Kusta left standing. They can't land any of their shots. Flamey walks in for free. And the return of Ghost Gaming here to this A bomb site is not going to happen. Edward is going to seek them out. And we'll go to 15. The potential of overtime looks like it does not exist at this point for Ghost Gaming. The CT side of their Mirage has yet to pick up a round.
These two players trying to desperately hold on to what they have. The two guns is all that Ghost have, the only talking point. And Na'Vi is closing in all around them.
I want to make this last round as painful as possible. And they will. Kusa only just surviving in the end. But here we go. Na'Vi, what a journey it's been. What a 3-4 hour almost journey. I can't remember what time we started. 3.5 hour journey for both of these teams. Ghost, you just hate to see it. There's been so many great moments in this series from them, especially as the underdogs. Going into Na'Vi, people dismissed them before they even begun, even though they did defeat NRG, even though they are the team that can be the dark horse, and especially were here today. Na'Vi, they're the second best in the world for a reason. And I think they've started to prove it here. They've got the number of Ghost. And they're ready to show it in what looks to be the final round. Not much of a buy there from Ghost Gaming, and everything in the hands of Na'Vi.
Yeah, Wardell's got his hands on the AWP, but he's been pretty much non-existent in this game, as have a lot of Ghost. You know, Neptune was getting some key frags here and there. Steel had some great rounds on the T side, but that's about it. Those are the only real talking points here. Flash over the top from B Apartments is going to set Steel up, and Sub-Rosa on the double push.
Pretty fast in. 2 for 2. And Zeus takes a bit of damage from that as well. The push still going to come through Apartments. Look how close Kusta is.
It's a great call coming out from Ghost. Kusta just throwing a flash over the top to set up Sub-Rosa and Steel for that double unders push. That gets them a lot of information. Neptune playing retake A with the rifle. Wardell trying to hold on to some semblance of middle control. He's in connector with the AWP. It's on Na'Vi to decide what to do in this round, where to apply the pressure. But it really feels like at this point, the pressure is definitely getting to Ghost. Their backs are up against the wall. And they showed some resilience on both Inferno and Train. It's going to take a little bit more than just resilience from Ghost to be able to come back into this game. It's going to take a bloody miracle.
At least it can start now. Back over to B, wrapping through short. Kusta is still playing in apps, but there's 30 seconds, so this has to be the go.
The other two Ghost players are so far away from rotating into this one, and Na'Vi's made absolutely no noise. They're going to clear out the side, which means that they're going to be pretty confident that Kusta's definitely going to be in B Apartments. They've cleared everything else. They know that everything else is not an option for Kusta to be there. They're going to be pretty well aware that he's there, smoked and flashed off. Other two players rotating in from Market. So much pressure on Ghost here, Jake.
Yeah, look, the pressure is mounting as well. The rest of Ghost finally coming around. 2 in Market. Kusta still sitting up here, and Na'Vi are just preparing for his emergence. He'll peek his way through, but you can see Flamey. He'll probably jump up and try and spot it. It's good timing, but Electronic just helps finish that one off. It's over. Oh boy, what a journey it's been there, Pilly. Na'Vi finish us off 2-1. And at the end of the day, Ghost just not having the resilience there to keep up with this team in Na'Vi. But boy, oh boy, I think in parts, they were definitely along for the ride.
Yeah, first couple of rounds of Mirage were really good. Some of those A-pops were working out beautifully from Ghost, but I think the problem is that towards the end of that T half, they just got too one-dimensional. They tried to just stick to their game plan and they rode it into the ground, and although they did get, 5 or 6 T rounds on the board, the momentum and confidence that Na'Vi started to build up, shutting down those B plays time and time again. You look at it, the rounds on the board, Ghost got 6 on the T side. That should be pretty good, right? But it just didn't feel like Ghost were in control of the game at that point. Even though they had 6 rounds on the board to Na'Vi's 9, it felt like Na'Vi had been absolutely dominating in a lot of the CT rounds, and they really rode that confidence through the rest of the game, demolishing them on the T side. Both Edward and Flamey really impressing on some of those entries and how they came into the bomb sites and stuff.
I think for Na'Vi, though, it's such a good story because it's showing that their resilience in the group stage comes through in the end of the day. How's their performance going into, probably the most important phase for them? And are they going to look better and better? I think is still in the back of our minds.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they're a shout for a team that's potentially going to be able to win the tournament if they get all their stuff together. It's fantastic to see Edward show such a great series throughout theirs. He had some really, really key plays, and that's always somebody that people keep an eye on as a sort of a little marker of how Na'Vi will be able to perform. You can always kind of rely on Electronic and Simple to have some pretty good performances. Flamey, he doesn't always need to deliver, but he has some key performances here and there. If Edward has some key frags, it can be pretty big and impactful for Na'Vi going forward.
I'm still impressed, though. I think at the end of the day, you look at that matchup and you go, right, coming into this, we didn't expect to be in this position. We didn't expect to have this best-of-3 matchup being so close.
Yeah, definitely not. I mean, Ghost could have took that one away 2-0 at some point in that series. Both of those maps, Inferno and Train, they were at that 10-10, 10-11 mark where both teams were on the breaking point, and Ghost really pushed Na'Vi to be able to try to win both of those maps. They took Inferno away, their map pick. They definitely could have come back and won Train in overtime, but weren't quite able to close that one out. And Na'Vi, ever since that overtime, felt like they were just dominating Ghost. It felt like they shifted into completely different gear. And that's the Na'Vi we all know and love. When their backs are up against the wall, they can really, shift into a different gear. Sometimes it almost feels like they need to be sort of kicked into a corner for them to wake up a little bit.
Man, that corner looks so dangerous. And of course, this is how it ended up today. I have to say, after you've seen all of that, the Renegades in the G2 match was absolutely fantastic. To end on this, though, I don't think I'd have it any other way.
Yeah, definitely not. And although Ghost had a really poor performance in that last map, they can definitely hold their heads high. They took out NRG. They had an opportunity to be able to upset Na'Vi, and they're just a team that continues to impress me time and time again. They're a team that has potential for those upsets, and despite, not having a lot of the, I don't know how you would say it, experience on the roster, they're a team that some of these players, they were at the bottom of EPL only like a season ago, and now they're potential for upsetting some of the best teams in the world. It's just so fantastic to see how quickly this roster has improved, and they're only on the up and up from here. I expect a massive jump in terms of, where they were in the rankings. Like, they were sitting down near 30th, now beating like the NRG who are in the top 10 and almost taking it to Na'Vi. I would expect them to really be starting to move up there.
But of course, Na'Vi, they have moved up there. They'll be joining the likes of Astralis and I believe Mouse from what we just saw there too. So looking forward to the rest of EPL as it comes in Denmark, Odense. It has been an absolute pleasure from us, I believe. I don't know. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. So we've, gotten there, I guess, is a good way to say. But Pilly, matchup, tell me what you're looking forward to as we get towards, I guess, the finals.
I mean, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see
Well,
how
who do you think will make it, I
how-
guess, is the...
Well, it'll see how a lot of the draws go. It's really going to, come down. The quarterfinals games are going to be interesting. A lot of those better teams, Astralis and stuff like that, have already made their way through to the semis, securing themselves the spots that you'd all expect them to get. So it's interesting to see a lot of these teams like, Na'Vi and some of those scrape through to only like the quarters. That could potentially make for some really spicy draws where we see like a game like maybe Na'Vi Mouse in a quarter or something like that where... you could see an absolutely ridiculous match that might be, grand final worthy of some other, not exactly premier tournament or something like that. But Yeah, it feels like there could be some heartbreak in the quarter, which is what we kind of see nowadays in the present day of CS.
Yeah, that's very true. And if we get towards the finals, and it is Astralis again, looking for their 4th Grand Slam win and that $1 million to add to the list. Na'Vi and teams alike like Mouse will be looking for that 100K to play spoiler. However, that's it for us here at ESL Australia. Thank you so much to Mitch Pilipowski, who's joined me all night. Thank you so much to our other casters who have joined us, our production team. We will see you next time for the EPL. It's bye for now, but not forever.